Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 2026 vsHacks opening ceremony presented by myself, Daniel, and Ming Lan. So before we get into it, let's do a little bit of an introduction. My name is Daniel Lei, and I'm an incoming student at the University of Waterloo studying computer science and finance. I like to watch basketball, and my favorite player is Victor Wembanyama.
Hello everyone. My name is Ming Lang. I'm from Vancouver and I'll be going to University of Waterloo studying software engineering and I watch NBA too. I'm a Steph Curry fan.
All right. Now let's talk about the schedule. For the first day, which is today, we have it split between PST and EST. So for people around in different parts of the world, they can reference it. So right now is the opening ceremony, and from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. is the AI Ready Data Engineering Workshop, uh, led by a industry professional. And then from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., we have another industry professional led workshop. And then from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m., we have a career advising segment with a special guest, which we will unveil very soon. And then from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., we have a mystery competition, which will be hosted on Discord. Uh, the winner of this mystery competition will receive a $10 gift card. On day two, from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., there will be another mystery competition. And then at 7:30 p.m. is the project submission deadline. However, this is not a hard deadline. Matter of fact, it's a soft deadline since we do give a 15-minute grace period because we realize that there are many people that could run into some logistical problems if that happens. And then from 7:45 p.m. to 9 p.m. we have the judging period. That's where we will bring industry professionals as well as me and Ming Wang, which we will talk about the judging criteria later. And then from 9 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. we have the closing ceremony. That's where we'll introduce the winners of this year's hackathon and some closing remarks. Now, before we get into the rest of this presentation, please welcome a very special guest, Edvicia.
Awesome. Yeah. Hope you guys can hear me. Yeah, thanks so much for having me here, Daniel and Mingnan. And hi, everyone. It's great to be here. Um, I hope it's not very obvious on my face that I probably woke up like 30 minutes back. But yeah, glad to see a big enough audience over here who've all woken up at like, what, 8 a.m. on Saturday. Um, yeah, so I guess I can introduce myself. I'm Aditya. I'm a ML engineer at Microsoft. I worked on a variety of ML projects around ML systems research, responsible AI tooling for computer vision models, and more recently, I got to work on large language model evaluation tooling, and I'm currently building LLM agents to accelerate those Windows software updates that all of you feel annoyed by, but that are super important for the health and capabilities of your device. So I've been told this is a hackathon for high school students. And the first thought that popped into my head upon hearing that was like the first line of code that I ever wrote was after I graduated high school. So it already blows my mind on how ahead of the curve y'all are in terms of participating in like an established, I think like 5-ish-year-old hackathon already, which is very, very impressive. And so, because y'all are already so ahead of the curve, like I guess y'all kind of already know at this point that like we're at like a never seen before point in history where technology in our modern reality is moving faster than our brains are even evolved to keep pace with all the latest updates. And if I can like let you in on one secret, this industry does not respect tradition, you guys, in case that wasn't super clear. Right now, everyone's talking about AI agents, automated coding, and this notion that software engineering is going to be near automated. However, the one insight that I really wanted to drive through my spiel here is sure, the world is trying to find value from all the hype out there, but what the world actually needs is people who can actually scale software. Like it's quite easy to have AI write a Python script that calls some APIs, output like a clever sounding response in which looks cool in a 10-second demo video. But what happens when, say, 1,000 people use your software at the same time? What happens when the input data users feed into your software is messy, corrupted, or just completely unpredictable or unseen? What happens if your model suddenly starts exhibiting incorrect behavior? That is where real engineering begins. One of my recent projects at Microsoft was about using LLMs to fix code conflicts in like the largest Git repo on the planet, the Windows OS repo. Solving code conflicts at that scale of like hundreds of thousands per week or per month was not about finding a magical prompt. Like it was about building a resilient architecture, evaluation loops, and an intuitive user experience. And these kinds of things were not just done by coding agents in one shot. They require deep design thinking and understanding of the customers using our product. A lot of the viral reels you guys might see out there around vibe coding involved, like around vibe coding or building something from 0 to 1, like from a natural language to an app. But real world software that needs to work at nation or even planet scale requires considerations around scalability, security, maintainability, and an architecture that can actually stay resilient in the future. That is what I'm going to be looking for when I judge your projects tomorrow, or I guess when I see your projects tomorrow. I don't just want to see like a shiny script. I want to learn about your thought process around scaling your solution. I want to see how you thought about edge cases and testing and how you articulate a specific problem that you're looking to solve. If there's one thing that I want you to take away from my journey as like from entering college as an international student, knowing almost nothing about coding, to being part of UC San Diego's inaugural data science major and working on ML at one of the largest tech companies, like it is this, like your capacity to learn and adapt is infinitely more valuable than what you know today. We know technology is moving super fast. The kinds of software frameworks that you use tonight will basically become legacy by the time you all graduate college. And that is completely okay. In fact, that is the best part of this job and what actually makes it exciting. The moment you think you know everything is the moment you stop growing. The best engineers I've worked with are not the ones who have memorized code or documentation, although we might all start by doing that. Even I myself have started to memorize code early on during college. But those best engineers have a sense of intellectual hatred in terms of finding limitations, and they're addicted to continuously improving. They track metrics, they figure out why their code broke, they refactor their code, and then they optimize from there. Whether you're building a fitness tracker that calculates macros or some customized deep learning model architecture, like really embrace the failures and communicate your experience to others. Whenever your code crashes, do not view it as a roadblock, view it as data. Every bug is just a lesson in disguise, which forces you to become a sharper engineer. And over the course of this hackathon, I'm not just here to like evaluate your final projects at the judging table. I'm also here as a career mentor and advisor. So if you want to talk about how do we break into this industry, what it's really like to work on ML at Microsoft, how to navigate your university programs, CS or data science, or if you just want to debate the best way to customize your large language model or software, yeah, come find me during the mentoring sessions, or feel free to also just like DM me on Discord. So here's my final ask to you for vsHacks 2026. Build something that solves a real frustration for you. Don't just build what you think sounds trendy. Just build something that makes you say, wow, damn, like I can't believe I solved this little problem that I had. Like make sure to break your code, fix your logic, collaborate a lot, and don't forget to get at least a little bit of sleep while you're at it. I kind of have a personal bias against all-nighters. Maybe that's just me, but that's what I would personally say. So yeah, I can't wait to see what all of you are going to build. Thank you.
Thank you, Advicha, for your very enticing speech. Let's move on though. Let's talk about prizes. Minglan, can you take it away?
Yeah, of course. I'll introduce the prizes starting off with the sponsor awards, which everyone can claim, and it's first come, first serve. So the first one is .xyz. It's a domain company, and the first 250 people who claim it is gonna get a free domain for 1 year, first year. And yeah, wait, Daniel, can you mute yourself? I think there's echo again. Yeah, thank you. So the second sponsor award is Federalist AI, and there's 100 seats for 1 month free premium, which is worth of $25 a month. And Federalist AI is basically an AI company that hosts like the different AI models you can use, and the premium allows you to use it for a limited amount. And we'll post more information about it later. And the last sponsor award is Perfect. Is a company, and you get 200 packages of free 500 free API units. So the first 200 people will get 500 units, and we'll post information about this company later as well. All right, so now let's move on to the real awards, the real awards. So we're gonna start off with most popular. So after you submit, you can vote for your favorite projects, and the most voted project on that post will receive this award. And just to make sure that this award, if you receive this award, you cannot be first place or second place, or on the other way, if you're first place or second place, you cannot receive the most popular award. And the group that received this award will get a $50 gift card. So it's per group. So one group received this gift card of your choice. You can choose any gift card, either it's Amazon or Best Buy, anything you want. And the second award is more creative. We have a criteria which we'll introduce later, and the group who wins it will get a $50 gift card as well. And the next one is runner up, which is basically the second place. The second place will receive a $100 gift card, and as well as a certificate or a coupon from Panago, which you can claim for like two pizzas, two salads, and two a pop. So you can celebrate it after the event ends. And the lastly is the first place. The first place gets $200 gift card and a $300 in Fearless AI tokens. So yeah, that's about prices. And now I'll introduce judging criteria. So this year we refined the criteria a little bit. So to make it more, there's a company scoring system, so it's more transparent, and we try to consider more aspects too. So the first aspect is creativity. So we're trying to judge based on how unique a project is. So are you copying? Are you imitating others' projects, or are you making something of your own? That's the first criteria. And the second one is execution, technical aspect. So basically, is your thing functional? So if it's hardware, we want to see it in the video that your hardware product is like, moving or is functional. And if it's like software, you can post a link or you can share us with the code. Or if it's a software website or it's an app, we want to see that, the buttons on the software app is clickable and everything is like, functional and working. We don't necessarily require a finished product or project, but if you have a finished one or you make everything functional, that's definitely a big plus. And the third aspect is presentation. So in essence, how well you can deliver your product to the audience, and it's gonna be judged mainly based on the video you're gonna share with us. And um, the fourth one is most on theme, which we'll be reviewing later. The thing, the more you're tightly bonded to the thing, the higher you're gonna score on this one. So this year we made the theme mandatory, So every project should be, connected or linked to the theme. And last one is real world impact. So what we want to see is, from the vision of the product, it, do you have the vision to like, make a real world impact with your project? It doesn't have to be like right now because it's kind of hard to make a project that's impactful in 2 days, but we want to see the vision in your video that, okay, we're trying to improve it this or that way that can make it more impactful or more useful to the human society. And yeah, that's basically it for the criteria.
All right, thank you, Minglan. Now let's move on to some frequently asked questions. So a lot of people on Discord have been asking us this, but there is a group size of a limit of 4 people in a group and a minimum of 1 person, even though DevPost does say the minimum is 2. It's actually 1. Also, I would like you guys to keep an eye on the events channel on Discord because that's where we'll be posting relevant information about upcoming workshops, career fairs, and etc. And then as Minglan has mentioned before in the judging criteria segment, you are required to post a video on either YouTube or Google Drive about talking about the capabilities of your project as well as explaining the code. You don't have to go line by line, however, because that's just sort of tiresome. You just need a structural and intuitive explanation. As well, the video has a maximum of 5 minutes. You'll also see on DevPost that there are text boxes letting you describe your project and challenges. That is crucial for us to understand holistically how you or your group has performed as a group. And it's very valuable information for us during the judging period. As well, unlike previous years, following the theme this year is mandatory. Now on our policy on AI. So AI is not prohibited, however, the use is quite limited. You are allowed to use it for ideation and streamlining or making your code more efficient. However, you are prohibited from vibe coding, which means making AI write everything completely, pretty much. We do have industry professionals judging it, so it's very hard to get past the judges that we have as well as ourselves because it's quite easy to spot vibe code. And another deterrent for vibe coding is, well, you have to explain your code in the video. And if you can't really explain it, there's some huge red flags. Moving on to something more jolly, let's talk about an exemplary video. This is a video by Aaron Wong, who was the winner of vsHacks 2025, which was last year. Let's take a look.
Hi everyone, I'm Aaron, known on Discord and most other places as Audit. I've participated in vsHacks with my friend Albert every year since the very first event. We won the runner-up prize in 2023 for Recycle AI and the theme prize for City View in 2024. At this point, we've done 5 hackathons together, with 3 wins in total. Unfortunately, Albert was not available this year, so I decided to go solo. I also decided to completely ignore the theme, because it was optional. Instead, I built a video game about something I'm personally interested in, being computer architecture.
Just a side note, yes, for his last year, the theme was optional. However, this year it is not optional anymore.
The result is a game called Cash Me If You Can. In this game, you play as a CPU cache system. Memory requests come in on a conveyor belt, and your job is to manage them by dragging them into their respective memory caches, each with their own cooldowns. If you miss a request, the CPU heats up. If you hit 120 degrees, the system crashes. You get the blue screen of death, and the game's over. It starts slow, but once the cooldowns get longer and the timers tick faster, it gets chaotic. And kinda terrifying. There are also power-ups like Overclock, which removes all cooldowns temporarily, and Defragmentation, which makes it much easier to manage your tiles. This was one of the most intense solo builds I've done in 48 hours. I had a lot of fun putting it together, whether it was 3D models, sound design, the systems that make the game run. I hope you enjoy playing the game as much as I did building it. Thanks for watching, and good luck to all the other teams.
Alright, so that was a pretty cool exemplary video. Thank you, Aaron, for letting us distribute it. Now let's move on to certificates. So all prizes that are not sponsored awards will receive a special certificate issued by me and the other fellow judges. Winners will be required, though, to DM myself to receive their certificates, which will be sent over email. Now, onto the most coveted portion of this presentation, which is the theme. So, drumroll please. So this year's theme is automation. And we purposely made it pretty vague this year because we want to see the creativity involved in everybody's projects in vsHacks 2026. You could, for example, create a game like Aaron from last year about maybe like a robot delivering pizzas, or you can create a web app that helps, use a tracking algorithm to help people in need of food in rural areas to deliver their food by drone. That could also be a viable option. Uh, there is a lot of flexibility involved, and as Avicii has said in his presentation, don't be afraid to not follow trends, right? You want to actually create something that's scalable and something that actually invigorates you as well as solves a problem. You don't want to just blindly, call a API as he puts it, and just make something that looks cool and doesn't actually drive passion. That's all for this year's opening ceremony. Thank you very much to our sponsors, Featherless, Perfect, Panago, AOPS, XYZ, Interview Cake, and Conceptus Foundation for making this event possible. And we'll hope to see you very soon. Goodbye.